The market appears to be in a reactionary mode today because, of course, global markets, US was down on Friday, but more than that, statements from Donald Trump around tariffs over the weekend. Now, what does that really mean? One impact you've seen is copper prices shot up very, very sharply on Friday. So, somewhere the markets were anticipating moves on this direction. And the reason prices shoot up is sometimes they try to anticipate, will this result in short term demand because people want to stock up before the tariffs really hit. That's a trend we saw when aluminium tariffs were put in place in the previous regime. It happened for a while, and then after that things cooled off. We didn't see so much of an impact on equity prices of metal stocks, though at that point of time is what I can remember. I have not really checked, and that is why maybe you got a slight bump up on Friday, but today you're not really seeing so much. Having said that, is all this bad news sufficient for another market sell-off? It could be, at least for the US, because it is at the top end of the range and rolling over. But in India, we haven't really seen a significant bounce back from what was extremely oversold sentimental conditions. And that is why I would think that there is still some upside before you see significant downside. Let's see, just almost back to the 20-day moving average on the Nifty. And if that level ends up holding closer to whatever 23,300 or something, we can still have the next move higher from here into the month end, and then possibly roll over. That is how I would think about it, unless of course something goes wrong, which means there's some further reaction, overreaction to what is happening around the world. Having said that, how will these things really play out? So far what we've seen is there's a timeline, there's a time given for everyone to respond to the tariffs. So it's not like they applied from tomorrow morning. It's more like they're coming if you don't do this. That is how some of the approaches have been, or even after they were applied, they were taken back the other day, giving some time for people to respond. That's somewhat what you can also expect. Our own Prime Minister is going to be meeting Donald Trump during this week, and hopefully that will also have some kind of a positive outcome, because they can come to some conclusion on how this really plays out and what we can do to avoid any kind of negative reaction from the US. And once that news is out, it would be a further positive, I think, for Indian markets. And that's going to be, I think, around the 12th of this month, which is midweek. So let's see how that goes.